Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. And today you see that we've got something a little bit different here on the show. And I thought this would be kind of fun to do. The College World Series or College postseason is about to get started. So I thought it'd be fun to take the top 25 ranked D1 teams, as well as just 5 other random teams that I could think of, and throw them into franchise mode and see what happens. So that was a pretty daunting task, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm kind of excited. So let's go over the teams that we have. So we're gonna start in the American League East, and we've got North Carolina, we've got the University of Virginia, we've got Duke, and that lowercase d in Blue Devils is going to bug me. We have NC State as well as ECU out there in the American League East. Over in the Central, I'm moving a little too fast here. Before we move to the AL Central, let me just tell you guys as well, if colors or team audio or team names or whatever is misspelled, y'all are gonna have to get over it. I tried my best. Sometimes teams aren't in the stadium or the name database, and sometimes I ran out of minor league stadiums. So anyways, in the Central, we have Indiana State, we have Michigan, we have Iowa, we have the University of Kentucky, as well as Wake Forest. And out west, we've got TCU, we've got Oklahoma, we've got Oregon, UC Santa Barbara, and USC. And then in the east, we've got Tennessee, LSU, Mississippi State, Georgia, and Ole Miss. So that's kind of like your SEC over there, sort of. In the Central, we have Florida State, we've got Texas, my boys Southern Miss, and who else do we have? Arkansas and Clemson. I think I missed LSU in the other division, but anyways. And then out west, we've got UC Irvine, Texas A&M, Arizona, Oklahoma, not state, I think it's just regular Oklahoma, and then Oregon State. So I tried to divide the divisions up as equally as I could based on location and region, and I didn't want to put 2 states, well, except for North Carolina, I guess. But besides North Carolina, I wanted to try my best to not put 2 states in the same division. And how this series is going to work is I downloaded a roster from the vault. And this roster creator from Operation Sports, it's called OS Fictional 100 if you want to look it up. He did a fantastic job. What he did was he simulated 100 years into the future, which would just be so annoying for me. But he simulated 100 years into the future, and he, exported that roster, edited it a little bit so everyone doesn't have the same like wind-ups and whatnot what you get when you do something like this. But anyways, he made this fictional roster, and so we're gonna use that for our college roster. And how the gameplay is gonna work is we're going to look at each week, and we're gonna play a game each week, whether it's like a rivalry, like a real life one, like Ole Miss, Mississippi State, whether it's just 2 top tier teams playing, or 2 aces, or just something along those lines. I'm gonna try my best to play some fun, meaningful games throughout the season. As we look here at Arizona's top pitcher, closer, Buddy Bauer, and their top hitter, which is their first baseman, whose name I can't remember, but we'll see shortly. So anyways, we're going to play a game a week around that time, just matchups that look interesting for me. I have CPU or control of every team, but I turned it all to auto because I want the CPU to do it. I'm just here to hang out and see what happens. Scouting and drafting will be more like recruiting, basically. So, it should be very interesting to see what happens. Obviously, since this roster is 100 years into the future, you're going to have aging veterans, you're going to have rising stars. Ron Grimsley is that first baseman, by the way. And you're going to have guys that move around, which I like to consider, being in the transfer portal and transferring from team to team. But yes, everything is set to CPU control. Because I don't know any of these players. You don't know any of these players. I'm not going to try and micromanage this whole thing because I don't want to. I just want to hang out and play some ball. And we'll just see what happens. So, eventually, I got tired of just like looking at all the lineup or all the players through managed roster. But we're going to take a look at the two teams that we're playing this week. And how I'm going to prioritize these first several games is by just playing different teams so that we go around the league, you get to know every team. We're going to start with this 2-game set, UC Irvine versus Arizona, which would have been the Korea series in MLB. And we're going to play as Irvine because we're going to play Southern Miss's opening day because they're my team and they play against Irvine. So that's kind of what we're going to do. Just to take a look here and looking at this Arizona lineup. Of course, Ron Grimsley, their best hitter, batting third. This lineup is fairly young, very right-handed heavy, as you can see. Steven Drew getting the start at DH for his rookie season, but like all lefties with a couple, or righties with a couple of switch hitters. I wish I would have slowed down just a little bit. I need to get better at that. That's one thing that I learn as I play along. But you can always pause if you want to see more. But their lineup is pretty good. You know, 100 years down the line, and 80 is kind of your new 75, but it's not so bad. And of course, their pitchers, Vinny Angeles, I don't want to say it wrong, but anyways, he's their ace, 30 years old, 84 overall, probably in his prime. You know, doesn't have like crazy high velocity at all. Christian White as well. He's kind of at his peak. So what I'm noticing with this team is that, you know, hitting is kind of young, but everybody seems to be kind of reaching their peak a little bit. Phil Horn, also 30 years old. You know, 34-year-old Orlando Alvarez, the lefty. And then, of course, Silas Horvath, who they could probably should build their pitching around going forward. 5-pitch mix from Pennsylvania. So kind of, you know, youngish rotation, but getting on the older side. Interesting lineup. They've got, you know, they're very middle of the road, middle of the pack team. So looking at Irvine, Kenny Rosa is a first baseman, but I believe he's going to DH. He's got some speed, hits righties and lefties for contact really well, decent power, good vision, good discipline, decent clutch. Can't really throw a ball to save his life, but he is making his debut as a top prospect this season. Clemens out at second, and he's 29 years old, kind of playing over his potential, but we'll see what happens with him. He's a switch hitter. This lineup is similar to Arizona's in that it's very right-handed heavy. Craig Watson, he's the man. He has won an MVP award. He won it last year. He's had a batting title, several gold gloves, silver sluggers, Hank Aaron Award, all-star appearances. This guy is the GOAT for this team, locked up through 2028. And, I mean, you know, he's got it all. He's got average, or he hits for average. Oh, is getting better with age, as you can see. You know, hasn't hit below 270 in his short career. Oh, well, JK, 252 and 203, but still, he's hits for power, is, you know, speedy, and that's kind of what I'm noticing with these generated players is, like, they're really all versatile. Another former MVP in Bernardo Ibar, 2021 MVP. So he's come up through the Irvine system. He's played a bunch here, and he has, you know, outshined the 21 seasons specifically with that ISO at 275. So Ibar and Watson, a lethal 1-2 punch there in the 3 and the 4 spot. Other than that, this lineup's, you know, around middle of the pack as well. The only really weak spot is the catcher, Ronald Alvarez, 78 overall. Other than that, not too bad. The only concern that I had while playing this game with Irvine, and you'll possibly see it, is that the center fielder He has a noodle arm. I don't know, maybe if it's a noodle arm, but it's not very great. But you know, we'll see how it goes. So that's the teams. Taking a look at the benches here. You know, got a couple all-stars on the bench as well. Looking at we haven't gone over the pitching rotation, so that's not the team. Ryan Haynes is the ace for Irvine, and 24-year-old, 89 overall, a potential. He is going to be good if he can stay healthy, and of course he has. He's pitched in 32 to 33 games a season, basically every start of the season. He hasn't missed any time, so he's showing he's a force to be reckoned with. Then you followed up with Robinson Kent, kind of older, you know, but he's stuck around. He's locked up for a few years. Garcia over here. One thing I don't like is that everybody's stamina hovers between like 65 and 75, so these pitchers aren't going to go great deep into games, but, you know, if you think about it, I guess that's kind of like how college is, right? They're kind of wild. They, you know, don't really go super deep, and so who knew that this would be realistic? And then, of course, at the back end here is Coleman, and he was an Casto, and he was an all-star as well at 30 years old, 7 years of service time. Coleman, I believe, is the one I was looking at who made a lot of progress in his time transitioning as a reliever to a starter. So let's get into some baseball here. Irvine versus Arizona. All right, so with this series getting underway, I of course have to go through and fix a lot of things because for whatever reason my settings don't really save properly. It's very annoying. So I used to play on directional, and I might go back to directional, but for now I'm just going to stick with timing in hopes that I can get my timing back because I have to take breaks away from this game. And then pitching, I back to pulse, and I don't really care too much about pinpoint. It's fun, but it's hard, you know, and I just want to chill and enjoy the game for what it is. So back to pulse, and on this game, I'm playing on fisheye pitching and retro hitting, and I think I'm going to go back to broadcast view for pitching. And now, just to kind of differentiate a little bit between the two. So, like I said earlier in the video, some teams are going to be called their MLB counterparts or something as close to the team name as I can get, because for some reason you would think Wildcats would be in the team database audio thing, but it's not. So anyways, Vinny Angelis is the Arizona ace, Friday night starter, as they say in the college world, and we're going to get this series underway. Leading off, Kenny Rosa, top prospect here for UC Irvine. And Angelis' first pitch is a breaking ball outside of the zone for a ball. He throws a fastball, changeup, cutter, and two-seamer. So lots of fastballs and fastball variants, but he can get you with the change. There's a cutter for a strike, and that cutter looks very good right in the middle of the zone, but my timing is off. There I am late on the changeup. And Rosa is down 1-2. I also wanted to make sure, because I was using timing settings. Well, this is where I turned it back to timing hitting, but I was also using I had the sliders tuned separately for practicing in this game mode, practicing hitting. So anyways, long story short, you're gonna have to bear with me as I get everything worked out. Hopefully this is the last time you'll see my settings screen in this video, or as far as in, you know, throughout the video. There'll be one more time in these clips that you'll see it. But anyways, Angelis starts the game with a strikeout of Rosa, and that's the first out. So, Donnie Clemens, Craig Watson in left, Bernardo Ibar in right, Pineda at third, Watson at short, Ramirez at catcher, Tony behind the plate, and then our number 9 hitter is our designated hitter, and his name I did not quite catch, but we'll get there. So here's Irvine's big superstar. You can really tell how late I am on these swings. It's just going to take some time to get used to, I guess. Playing online and he's a different beast.
Nope.
So here's Watson, the left fielder. He is Irvine's best hitter, and Ibar is not too far behind.
2-1.
Oh, you know what I'm noticing? I don't know if y'all noticed this, but there's an echo. And I wonder if my PC speakers were picking up on the TV speakers. Maybe I'm just going crazy. But Angelis is looking for a 1-2-3 inning. He's got Watson down 2-2. That's a foul ball. So I'm starting to make some solid contact, but still that timing is way off. Baseball inside, full count, and like we have been talking about all video long, Ibar is on deck, and he's no slouch at the plate either. 1-2, 3-2, fouled off. Let me know what you guys think about these jerseys. I just Googled the team's baseball uniforms, and I just picked ones that I liked.
That's ball 4.
So Watson draws a 2-out walk for brings Ibar to the plate.
Batting full. The right fielder.
I'm pretty proud of these uniforms. Took me a few days to get all this together. And I did, of course, every home team will wear white on white, and then the away team will wear alternate jerseys on top of white pants, kind of like how college baseball does it. I know they have road jerseys, but I never see them wear road grays. Ibar just misses and pulls that ball foul, so he's quickly down 0-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Ball in the dirt. Watson scampers back to first. Beautiful night here in Arizona. Hit weakly to the shortstop. Flips to second for the out. And that's not 1-2-3 inning, but that is a fairly clean first inning for Angelis and Arizona. And we as in the team I'm playing, Irvine sends their ace to the mound. And here he is, Ryan Haynes. 33 games started last year, 200 plus innings pitched. These are creative players, and generated players, but you don't see that in Major League Baseball anymore. So he's got a funky looking glove, multicolored glove over there. I like that. Stephen Drew grounds that up the middle, and because I have, again, weird ass settings set on my game, like competitive settings, it's an E6. So Haynes will get a strike here, ahead 0-2 on Kevin Ulrich. For Ulrich, he swings and misses a 3-pitch punch out for Haynes. And that's the first out of the inning.
The first baseman,
So here's the Wildcats' best hitter, Ron Grimsley. He's got a runner on with 1 man down. Stephen Drew, the DH, over at first. And Grimsley will work a walk. So the 2 best hitters for each team starting the night off, both with a base on balls. And here's the cleanup man, Jim Schneider. So Arizona fans on their feet waving their rally towels, and it's a 1-0 count. Haynes in some trouble here early, fouls off the fastball. There's a strike on the outer half. 1-2 to Schneider. Hit weakly and foul, stays alive, gets a piece of the changeup. We'll do it again. Hit into right field, and that will score. No, Stephen Drew won't try to score on the play. as Ibar is able to get it in
Batting
quickly.
fifth, the
So
second baseman.
Schneider still's got something to celebrate. That's a hard hit ball going the other way, but Drew, and not wanting to test the arm of Ibar early, that's some cowardness if you ask me. I'd do it. But the Wildcats have bases loaded here in the first. Haynes really laboring in this half inning. Ground ball up the middle. Watson, Clemens, and on to first. 6-4-3 double play, and Haynes gets out of the inning. And Irvine gets out unscathed. So, a rocky first inning for Haynes, but still no score as we played one inning in our NCAA college baseball series on the channel.
Say.
On to the second inning here. And that's a first Gold Glove almost caliber play. That's a good stop for the first baseman.
Batting seventh,
And
the
Grimsley
catcher.
dives for it. He stops it, so he saves it from going down the line, and he's able to flip to the pitcher covering, I believe. Nice underhanded toss, good fielding, and that's a good play here. One of the better defensive plays to start the series. So here's Kenny Rosa. He went down on strikes his first time up. Cutter at the top of the zone. Middle, really, right down Broadway almost. And Rosa just watches it for a strike. Late on the fastball, yet
No
again.
ball, 2 strikes.
It doesn't look like it's coming out, like, on my TV, it doesn't look that bad. Maybe it's because I'm not playing in game mode or whatever, you know, input delay. I don't know, but point is, you can really tell here on the video how late I'm swinging. I mean, it's already in the mitt by the time I'm swinging, and Rosa's down on strikes yet again for the second time tonight.
Now batting, second baseman.
Second baseman
Johnny
Clemens flew out his first
Clemens.
time up. That's hit towards the gap. That'll get down, and Clemens will have extra bases here with 2 outs in the third inning. And, of course,
The left fielder,
that brings up the
number
deadly duo in
Yeah.
Watson and Ibar. So this is Irvine's chance to get on the board here, and what better person to have than Craig Watson?
Ball, that's outside.
So he takes a ball. Of course, he drew a walk his first time up, and he's ahead 1-0. Late swing and miss on the fastball yet again. What's new? 1-1. Swung on and miss.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Sinker. And he got him with the pitch low. And Angelis is able to work out of the inning.
3.
So Haynes is going to start to settle in here in the third. Picks up his third strikeout. And 1 out now for Stephen Drew. Hit up the middle. That's a base hit. Off the second base bag. And Tony Clay doesn't really have the best stats, but he's able to
The
get it
batter,
in.
number 9, shortstop.
So
Kevin.
Arizona already with another base
Ulrich.
runner on. That's going to kind of be the theme here, is they're able to get men on, and now they're going to try to capitalize. Hit weakly into right center. That's going to drop down. Drew over to third, and he's going to make it.
Hey.
Throw is late. So Arizona threatening yet again. Both teams have had a couple half innings where they have really threatened to put runners on. Let's see who can crack first.
Ball, inside.
All right, here's Grimsley. Drew himself a walk. Diving stop. by Pineda, that diamond defense, and they get the lead runner, but Grimsley safe on the play, and more importantly, the runner who does come in to score, that is Drew there over on third. He scores, but Pineda saves it from going down the third base line. However, and he, saves more runs from scoring.
Ball, that's upstairs.
All right, so a laborious inning here. Here's Schneider. Haynes at 54 pitches. Gets ahead there. Schneider is the right fielder for Arizona.
Ball 2.
Pretty young, 24 years old, 88 potential, or 88 overall with A potential. And he's going to ground out there to end the inning, but Arizona, the Wildcats strike first, 1-0. We got to make some contact. We really got to work on our timing because it's not going too hot here as Angelis picks up another strikeout. There's yet another one. So he's got his breaking stuff working. To the fifth, 2-2 to Clay. And the only lefty in the batter is another strikeout victim. Angelis is 6th or 7th. There's strikeout number 8 through 5 as Arizona is up still 1-0. Onto the bottom of the 5th. Haynes has settled down at 87 pitches though, and he needs a quick inning here. And a quick out there to Clay in center will kind of help things out a little bit, keep things moving along. Stephen Drew. He's 1 for 2. He's usually a first baseman, but he's DHing as a rookie for Arizona. And he's going to ground out to second. So Haynes working rather quickly here. Probably one of his more efficient innings pitched. And here's Kevin Ulrich. So he's another guy who's been on base with a single. But Haynes has been holding them to singles, but that might not last for very long as Ulrich hits that into right field off the wall. And he's going to scoot there into second with a 2-out double. Got some good wood on it. Right over Ibar's head. Didn't have a chance. Played it pretty well off the wall, though. But the Wildcats threatening it once again. Ron Grimsley, 0 for 1. Drew a walk, though. Got a runner on.
Ball.
Fastball from Haynes is high. Grimsley to right center. Ibar on the move, a couple of steps shy of the warning track and makes the catch. Haynes continues to flirt with danger, but gets out of yet another inning. So 5 innings of 1-run ball. On to the 6th, 2, 3, and 4. Here's Clemens. Ooh, off the pitcher, and they will get the out. But Angelis appears to have suffered a foot injury on the previous play. Doesn't look to be serious, but he'll need to be out. And he was day-to-day, so he wasn't really out for that long. Anyways, so not too bad. All right, Stu Lawson coming in now for Arizona. Probably unexpected. You know, one out here in the 6th after the foot injury. And I thought Clemens was safe because usually they are safe on those plays, but nope. Little me suffering with some short-term memory loss apparently. That's a cutter. That's an interesting arm angle too from Lawson. Cutter right down the middle. Curveball catches the outer black. 0-2 quickly. And that curveball misses low. Classic 0-2 breaking ball there. Way out of the zone. But a guy like Watson, Watson able to lay off, and he goes the other way, high and deep, but dies out there in the caverns of right field. 2 outs. That is definitely, though, probably the hardest hit or farthest hit ball of the day so far for the Anteaters. And there we go. There's some solid contact from Ibar. And that's a 2-out base runner for Irvine. Let's see what can happen. Here's Carlos Pinedo. We haven't seen him today. He's been quiet. Late cut and a miss on the fastball. 0-1. They pan over to Ibar, so I wonder if he has some speed. I'd be curious. I'm not going to run with him. We're already, we're down 1. We've gotten into their bullpen. Let's see what happens. And Pineda gets hit there. Looks like maybe the elbow?
Now batting.
So,
Andrew.
another Watson. Andrew, I'm going to just, you know what? I'm sure they don't look alike. I'm blind, so I don't know. But we're just going to pretend they're brothers. Andrew and Craig. You got to create your own storylines, right?
Count 1-0.
That's a ball.
Hey.
And there's a
One
strike.
ball, 1 strike. That's ball 2.
Ball 2.
Ball 3.
Okay, so 3-1. Andrew Watson making him work a little bit.
Ball 4.
And he will draw a walk. All this, remind you, is happening with 2 outs. Bases are loaded for Diego Ramirez. And this is the first time we'll see him. And he's had a single, so you'd never know what could happen. I have a second monitor with the franchise pulled up on my OBS so that I can kind of just look at the players, and I'm right. Yeah, they don't look very similar. So maybe the storyline won't work, but I'm going to still make it work. They're brothers. And that's hit high and deep to left, but it dies out there yet again. So we threaten and can't come up with anything. On to the 7th. Arizona still up 1-0, but there's another hit by pitch, this time from Michael Darth. It's a fun name. Runner at first. On the move, and that's in the dirt, and he will make it up to second. So we got kind of lucky there because he doesn't have a very high stealing rating. It's at 58, but he was able to get to second base. And now 2-2 count. Another late swing and a miss. Kenny Rosas had himself a day to forget. 3 strikeouts.
Johnny
Just
Clemens.
not great. Let's see what Clemens can do. Clemens, the switch hitter, batting left-handed, and he bloops that into left field. That'll drop. Here comes the runner, and he is safe. And Clemens got a little greedy there, going to second. He's out. But you know what? We tie the ball game, and it is a brand new ball game in inning number 7. So that's all you need. All you need. Bottom 7. Haynes still out there. He has thrown 85 pitches. Quickly has Joseph Moya down 0-2. Good pitch in the dirt is filthy. And that is another punch out. Strikeout number 5 for Haynes.
7.
Here is Andre Andres Blanco, the center fielder.
Yeah.
Big cut and a miss.
0-1's the count. 0-1.
Again, Haynes has given up his fair share of base hits, but you know what? He's kept the game at 1, and you really can't complain. I mean, he is your ace, so you might as well see what he has left in the tank, see how far he can get you. I also just, full self-disclosure, I just forgot to warm somebody up, so I was like, screw it. He can pitch the 7th, and maybe I'll remember to warm somebody up next time. Hit hard out to Clemens, easy play. 2 quick outs. Well, that one maybe wasn't as quick, but 2 outs nonetheless. All right, here's the left fielder, the number 9 hitter, Isaiah Hoskins. Sorry, sir, I didn't mean to mispronounce your name, but here's Isaiah. Fouled off. 0-2 quickly to the left fielder, Isaiah Hoskins. Checks his swing. They say he swung. And that's 6 strikeouts through 7 innings for Haynes. And he's looking good. 1-1 is your score still as we play the back 3. Bottom 8. So Ryan Webster's on the mound, and he's going to get a strikeout to start his night. Steven Drew's finally set back down. Although, I guess he wasn't that as on base as much. He just felt like he was on base all the time. However, Ulrich was on base 2 for 3, but that's another punch out for Webster. So he's looking pretty good so far, really impressing me here for Irvine. Grimsley to center. Clay is there, and that's a clean 8th. What's going to happen? Still 1-1 as the sun begins to set here in Arizona. To the 9th. Webster out there, still 4, 5, and 6, heart of this Wildcat order. And here's Jim Schneider taking a ball.
Ball, that's good.
I'm sorry, that first pitch was a strike. That fastball is inside.
No, inside.
Webster working quickly. Beautiful sunset. This is a gorgeous minor league park. I might have to play some of my Diamond Dynasty games out here because, man, like, I like it. It is pretty. SDS really kind of goes all out for those sunsets in these games, and I really appreciate that. Webster is looking sharp. Robbie Moret, I can't tell if it's an N or an R. Monreal, I think. Hit to short. Watson dives, stops it. Can't make the recovery, and I thought I canceled the throw, and it goes into the dugout. So he moves up to 3rd? I thought you only moved up 1 base if it's in the dugout. Well, that just goes to show, have throw canceling on, but Andrew Watson with another error. And this time, this puts the go-ahead winning run at 3rd base with 1 out for Leonardo Navarro. And that's to left and down, and it's an Arizona winner. As the catcher, Leonardo Navarro, walks off UC Irvine, and a dramatic finish to the first game of this series as Arizona takes this game and wins off an unearned run, but an error, which is just kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. Your winning pitcher is Angelis, who came out with an injury. Angelis is your player of the game. Darth gets the win. Webster gets the loss. And that's a 1-2 loss for Irvine. And as you can see, he's only out day to day with a bruised foot. He should be back by regular opening day here. Let's go ahead and get pulled up here to Southern, because we're going to see Irvine again in the next one. And the Wolfpack trade Matthew Alvarez to the Bulldogs. Which one, right? For Larry Styles. I don't know. I don't know who those players are. I'm sure it probably doesn't matter. They're probably nobodies, but I guess we'll see. So that's going to do it. Irvine is 0-2. Rough start as they lose the second game 4-3. And they had a 2-run lead into the 5th. And then 8, 9, and 10, the bullpen gives up the loss, gives up 3 runs per inning. Grimsley had a home run. Leonardo Navarro had another RBI. So, tough start to the season for the Anteaters. And Arizona off to a hot start. Ryan Webster gets another second loss as he gives up an earned run. Well, another run, not an earned run. And yeah, he's had a rough start to his season. So Southern versus at Irvine when we come back next time on the channel. And, you know, let me know what you guys are thinking about as far as the series is going. I thought about doing a little preview here for Southern, but I started to, but I don't think I finished it. So we'll talk about them next time. And that will do it for me, you guys. Like I said, let me know what you guys think about this series as we move forward. Leave some feedback. I had fun. You know, I enjoyed this. We're also going to bring back the Braves franchise where I was playing all the games or whatever. I'm going to find a way to bring that back as well, hopefully. And I will catch you guys next time. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I post videos as often as I can. Not often enough as I would like, but as I can. So, enjoy, and I will catch you guys next time. Take care, and have a great rest of y'all's day.